The following is an exclusive presentation of the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the AHSAA Radio Network.
Lauderdale County has just won their 5th straight state championship and their 13th overall.
Everybody, and welcome to Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. Thanks so much for being with us. This is going to be a program dedicated to all things AHSAA. We're going to try and cover all sports, but obviously we will focus on football and basketball specifically. And today we're talking to two of the best when it comes to anything AHSAA, and that's Ron Ingram, the Assistant Director of Communications for the AHSAA, and also Josh Bean, who covers all high school sports for AL.com. These are two of the best in the business, and they can tell us a lot about what's going on in the AHSAA right now. Thanks for being with us, and we'll have more in just a second.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Sports Media, and LMG Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design, tees and signs, ad placement, and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
Even the nights are hot down south. And now, they're getting spicy too. The new Jack's Spicy Chicken Sandwich with fries only $3.99. It's got fresh tomatoes, lettuce, and just the right amount of kick. Jack's, all about the South.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, Central Alabama will provide you with courses and degree programs in tune with today's workplace. Get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
No, wrong! Bring it in, guys! Take a knee! Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola going to give a real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero!
Welcome back to Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson, and got a very special guest on the line with us right now, Mr. Ron Ingram, who is the Assistant Director of Communications with the AHSAA. Ron, how you doing today?
Just fine, Luke. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks so much for taking a little time out. I know it's the summertime and you get a vacation too, right?
Well, we try to, but it's hard to squeeze it in with all that we have. We have a lot of things that we have to do in the summertime, but we get some. In fact, I'm going on this weekend to Nashville. My wife and I are going up to grandson's first birthday party, and then we're going to go to the Grand Ole Opry. But we don't get, we're doing okay. It's not a championship season, so we have good hours.
Well, while you're up there, you may get a little bit of that Predator fever that everybody in Nashville seems to have right now. Maybe we'll have AHSAA hockey before too long.
Well, let me tell you, we'd have to find a facility that wouldn't melt. This would not be the prime time for it. We'd have to have it in the wintertime. It is fun, and my son-in-law, he's up there, and he moved from Minnesota to Nashville. He's got it real big. He learned how to love hockey. You know, he's a former University of Alabama student, and he's a big hockey fan now. But he learned it the right way in Minneapolis.
You know, it's funny you say that because I know the University of Alabama actually has a hockey team itself. A lot of people may not know that, but hockey's beginning to catch on around here. We may get there one day with the AHSAA, but let's talk about some of the sports that we do have here in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. And it was a really big year for the AHSAA, was it not?
I think it was, Luke. You know, we started out with, if you look at our football Super 7, we had a record attendance there for the Super 7. Finished up really strong at Auburn, and of course this coming year we go back to Tuscaloosa. And then we had basketball, and again record attendance in basketball, and we had close to 18,000 on the final day in basketball. And of course then we for the first time we had wrestling duels. We had strong attendance through all of our championships. Then we finished up in the spring with good weather, and we had really good attendance for baseball and volleyball and softball. And I don't want to leave out volleyball. Volleyball set records for attendance too at the Crossplex. And our indoor track, Luke, not only did we have great attendance, but we had a national high school record broken by one of our student athletes. Trey Cunningham out of Winfield is the fastest high school 60 meters hurdler in the history of high school sports. And we're real proud of all of that. It really has been a good year.
Yeah, and then some other news. I know a lot of people, football is the king around this state, and the news came out a few weeks ago that 27 or 28 of the NFL teams all have some former Alabama high school player on their team. That's just incredible to me.
Yeah, I think that's a tribute to number one, our high school coaches and administrators, our students, the love of the game. It also indicates just how important high school football is, and there's a lot of life lessons that are learned in that game. But it's just a tribute to the commitment of our high schools, and that means that we as an association must be committed to making sure that sport is as safe as it can possibly be. And Mr. Savarese has been out front nationally in that effort to make sure that our student athletes have the safest and most healthy environment possible. Several things have been done in the last few years to make it safer, including limiting the amount of contact during practices. All of our coaches now must take and complete a concussion awareness course, a heat illness course, and a cardiac arrest course that all of our coaches have to take, not just our football coaches. We have AEDs now in every single high school and middle school in the state, and many have several. One's not enough, and now we're trying to see if we can't get more than at least each one has one, and all of our coaches must be CPR and AED qualified or certified. So there's a lot of things we're doing there on the health and safety aspect that was one of the reasons that our student athletes are, I think, having such success at the next level. But we have to particularly tip our hat to the mamas and the daddies, the communities, and our coaches.
Well, Ron, we all have to tip our cap to you guys at the AHSAA. Y'all have taken this thing to new heights, and as part of the AHSAA radio network, I can tell you it's something we love being a part of each and every year, and you guys really make it special, and it's just a fantastic thing. You guys have it rolling.
Right, Luke, and we mentioned the record attendance at basketball and football. I think we also had record hits, or record people tuning into our radio network at those events too. I believe Randy and Brett both gave me a figure of over 600,000, I think, for basketball.
That's right.
That listened in at one time or clicked in to listen to the broadcast of all those games collectively, and that's an amazing thing, particularly from the fact that how far it has grown and how professional y'all do that. I think too the AHSAA update's another opportunity for us to get the message out about what the AHSAA is trying to do and what our member schools are doing to make this a great experience for not only the student athletes and the coaches and regular students and teachers, but for the communities as well.
Well, Ron, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out from the summer months where you guys really don't get a lot of off time, but it's as close as you're going to come. So looking forward to another great year with AHSAA.
Thanks, Luke. And one thing I do want to give a shout out to, particularly because I know Michael beforehand is going to be producing the video for us at our championship coaches banquet in July. But we're going to close out the school year at a banquet on July 21st at the Renaissance. And the last thing that we will do is we will present 7 Making a Difference awards to 7 individuals, 1 per classification. And these individuals have but not only do they do what all of our coaches do, but they take it another step and they're nominated by their peers. And this is really a great achievement. And this year's winners are going to be in Class 1A, Alan Beckett, the head football coach and athletic director at Winterboro High School in 1A, and 2A, it's Lamar Brooks, a former Central Board member who was nominated by G.W. Long High School in Dale County. He recently retired and was the president of our Central Board at one time. 3A is Bobby Tittle, the principal at Ohatchee. 4A is Charles McCaleb, a longtime athletic director, basketball coach, football coach, softball coach from Bibb County High School. 5A is Richard Dutton at Lawrence County, head football coach, athletic director. 6A is Janice Calhoun, the assistant athletic director at Chelsea High School. And the 7A is Alvin Rawls of Buckhorn, who became the first black head baseball coach in the AHSAA to win a state championship in 1993 at New Hope. And this past spring, just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he became the first black head coach to win a state championship in prestigious softball. So he coached baseball and softball championships, and he's an incredible athlete, former Central Board member. But we're real proud of these individuals and proud of all our coaches, and we're proud of what y'all do.
Well, thank you again so much, Ron. We really appreciate everything that you and all the great people at the AHSAA do, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you, Luke. Good to hear from you.
That was Ron Ingram, the Assistant Director of Communications with the AHSAA. He does a phenomenal job. He's been a fixture with that organization since I can't even remember when, and he's been Mr. High School Sports in the state forever and ever and ever. I want to thank him so much for joining us, and we'll be back in just a minute with more of Inside the AHSAA.
Team is not something you do alone. Team is plural. Team is arms, legs, blood, sweat, and soul. A lot goes into team. But what we take away stays with us forever.
You may know them from high school, from the local grocery store, or even your own neighborhood. These local teens have embarked on a new journey, one that begins at Southern Union State Community College. Visit suscc.edu/journey to see the life's journey these students have planned. We believe that you have an amazing journey ahead of you too, and Southern Union is the perfect place to begin at an affordable price close to home. Southern Union, where the journey begins.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization, wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat, full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma, all with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
At Cadence, we believe money should get out of the bank and into action. Getting out into the world of business, for energy companies, the healthcare industry, legal and accounting firms, and for individuals, wealth management. When you find your Cadence in Alabama, you turn money into action. So join us and we'll work together to find your Cadence at Cadence Bank.
Member FDIC.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, SignSource, Lee Apparel, R&B Sports Media, and LMG Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design, tees and signs, ad placement, and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Another staple of Inside the AHSAA is Mr. Josh Bean from AL.com. He covers all things high school sports for that wonderful organization. How's it going today, Josh?
Doing great. Hope you're well.
Really am, and getting excited for the AHSAA upcoming season, because I just got some news yesterday that AL.com reported big matchup in basketball November 14th. It's going to be Mountain Brook taking on Sacred Heart. That means Trendon Watford and the Spartans are going to be taking on Deontay Wood and that squad. My goodness gracious, that sounds like a blockbuster game to start the season off.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really cool, and hats off to these two programs and the coaches for making this game happen. You know, I mean, Mountain Brook, you know, when you're a program of that prominence, you know, you don't always have to play a 1A school. And so Mountain Brook's doing that, and good for, you know, on the other hand, good for Sacred Heart. You know, it's a 1A school. They're willing to open the season against the reigning 7A champ. I think this is really cool. You know, last year Sacred Heart worked this out where they played on the road at Mae Jemison against John Petty to start the season, and this year they're doing it against Trendon Watford. So pretty cool for high school basketball in our state. I think that anytime we can have this kind of marquee type matchup, it's a good thing. And you know, we'll be right in the throes of football playoffs, but that's the kind of game that's going to get some attention no matter when they play it.
Yeah, it's on a Tuesday night, so it won't interfere with anybody's high school football games. I think that's something that it's going to be a tough ticket. I know that I'm going to try and make my way over to Spartan Arena and go check that out. And I think it also says a lot about the state of basketball in Alabama right now, because you've got Trendon Watford, who's easily one of the top 10 players in his class. Deontay Wood, anywhere from a 4-star to a 3-star guy, but he's been a superstar since he was, in the 7th, 8th grade? And the state of Alabama has a lot of guys coming up through the ranks, and Avery Johnson and Bruce Pearl are doing a great job to recruit them.
Yeah, I think that we have seen some momentum. I mean, obviously, Coach Pearl and Coach Johnson have raised the expectations for their programs. And, you know, both of those coaches have landed prominent in-state guys. You know, Avery Johnson convinced John Petty to stay home and play at Alabama. Bruce Pearl convinced Austin Wiley to stay home and play at Auburn. So, both of those teams, you have to feel like Alabama and Auburn were disappointed with the way their seasons ended last year. But I still think there's a lot of optimism about those programs. And, the more of these in-state guys that stay home, it bolsters that. Alex Reese from Pelham signed with Alabama. John Petty signed with Alabama. So we'll see where these two guys, that'll play in this high school game will ultimately end up. But, yeah, and I think I've mentioned this to you before. I think Watford can be a transformative type player for wherever he goes, whether that's Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, or whether that's Alabama or Auburn. I think he's that talented. And, it's great that presumably we're going to get to see him for a couple more years here in our state.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I know that everybody else on Mountain Brook's schedule wish he'd go ahead and graduate, and I got to give Mountain Brook a lot of credit too. I checked out their entire schedule after I saw they had scheduled Sacred Heart. They have Parker on there. They have, I believe, Hoover. They have Winona a couple of times. Is there anybody they don't play?
Yeah, and they're also, they got invited to play in the City of Palms, the national level tournament down there in Florida, which is a little bit before Christmas. They're playing in our AL.com Classic in Huntsville right after Christmas. So, look, that's a program that has reached, the greatest heights in school history under Bucky McMillan. But they're not dodging anybody. They play a very challenging schedule every year now. And, this Sacred Heart game is just the start of, as you said, a very challenging schedule.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe we're talking about basketball here at the beginning of June in Alabama, but that's what some excitement like this will bring about. And we had Ron Ingram on a little bit earlier. He talked about the record-breaking attendance for the finals in Birmingham and the record number of people that were listening to the radio broadcast. And it's great to see this sport catch fire again in the state.
Yeah, and again, I think a lot of that has to do with what Alabama and Auburn have going on. But look, you got to win. Alabama, Auburn, UAB all missed out on the NCAA tournament. And you and I remember when there was a time when all three of them were in the NCAA tournament. I think for basketball coaches on the high school and the college level, that's the dream. The dream is to have that kind of thing going year after year after year. Maybe we're about to start that here again.
Well, Josh, we will have you on again very, very shortly, and we'll talk some high school football because the Champions Challenge is just around the corner.
Amen. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Josh, thank you. That was Josh Bean with AL.com. He does a fantastic job with AL.com, always provides incredible updates, even in the summer months when it seems like there's not a lot going on. If you go to AL.com, there'll be 4 or 5 stories daily on the basketball section or on the football section, girls softball section, whatever you want to look up. Go check out AL.com. That's going to do it for this episode of Inside the AHSAA.